Hey guys, tonight we're staying up way past bedtime. The words slip out in a hush, like I'm afraid the janitor's keys might jingle around the corner and catch me. Rain needles the tall windows of room 204, each drop ticking against the glass the way Mrs. Hargrove's red pen used to tap when she waited for us to finish pop quizzes. The fluorescents overhead hum that low, sick bee buzz they always get after 9 p.m., the kind that makes your fillings itch. I'm perched on the edge of a desk that still smells like pencil shavings and teenage sweat, phone propped against a stack of ungraded geometry tests so you can see the hallway behind me, lockers yawning open, shadows pooling under the trophy case, the exit sign flickering like it's nervous. You probably won't make it to morning after this one. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Drop your city and local time in the comments. I read every single one while the building settles around me. Now, dim the lights, maybe crack open a window for that midnight breeze, and let's walk the halls together. I shouldn't be here. Graduation was 3 years ago, but the side door by the band room still yields to the same trick. Slide a student ID under the weather stripping, pop the latch, slip inside before the alarm chirps twice. The air tastes metallic tonight, like the pipes are sweating. My sneakers squeak on the wax floor, a lonely metronome counting me past the bulletin board where someone pinned a faded flyer for the 2019 spring formal. Glitter still clings to the paper like stubborn frost. Curiosity starts small. It always does. Last week I was doom scrolling our town's subreddit and stumbled on a thread titled, "Hidden Floor at Lincoln High?" The original post was just a blurry photo of the main stairwell, the one that spirals between second and third, and an arrow drawn in red pointing to a blank wall where the steps should continue upward. Commenters called it Photoshop, but one user, u/LincolnLurker2009, swore they'd measured exactly 4.8 feet of dead space between floors, enough for a landing nobody admits exists. The thread got archived after the mods labeled it urban legend, but the seed was planted. I reach the stairwell now. Motion sensors wake the lights in sections, so the ascent happens in pulses, dark, glow, like the building is breathing. My palm slides along the cold railing, paint flakes off in the shape of tiny continents. Second floor landing, normal. Bulletin board with club sign-ups, the trophy case reflecting my silhouette back at me warped and tall. I count the steps out of habit, 14 to the turn, 14 more to third. Except tonight, on the 12th step of the second flight, my foot doesn't find the expected concrete. It keeps going, sinking an inch into nothing, then meeting resistance half a stair lower than it should. I freeze. The hum of the light stutters, skips a beat. There's a seam in the wall I've never noticed, a hairline crack running vertically where the cinder blocks meet. When I press my ear to it, I hear paper. Pages turning, slow and deliberate, the way the librarian used to when she hunted for overdue notices. My pulse answers with a soft drum in my ears. Realistic anchor. Lincoln High was built in 1964, expanded in 78, and the blueprints on file at City Hall show only 2 floors plus basement. I printed them yesterday, spread them across my kitchen table like a treasure map. No hidden levels, no architectural surprises. Mythic element. The rumor mill insists that during the 78 renovation, a substitute custodian vanished between shifts. His time card was punched out at 2:17 a.m., but nobody ever saw him leave. Students started calling the stairwell the Swallow, because things, people, sounds, whole class periods, sometimes went up and never came down. I shine my phone flashlight into the crack. Dust motes swirl like lazy galaxies. The light catches something metallic, a thin seam, almost like a door edge, painted over so many times it's nearly invisible. My thumb traces it, and the wall gives the tiniest sigh, the kind an old house makes when it decides to share a secret. I think some lessons were never meant to be taught. The seam widens under gentle pressure, just enough for shoulders. Beyond it, the air changes, cooler, drier, carrying the faint scent of mimeograph ink and cafeteria tater tots. Another set of stairs descends into darkness, narrower than the main artery, the steps worn into shallow scoops by decades of invisible feet. I glance back. The normal stairwell glows behind me, safe and predictable. Ahead, the hidden flight swallows my light after 3 steps. Curiosity tugs harder than fear. I step through. The wall exhales shut at my back with a click so soft it could be my imagination. The stairwell lights don't follow me here. Only my phone illuminates a handrail coated in dust thick enough to write your name in. I do, my initials, a childish impulse, then immediately regret it when the letters sink in like the dust is thirsty. Halfway down, the temperature drops another 5 degrees. My breath appears in small ghosts. The steps end at a landing that shouldn't fit, too wide, too clean, the floor tiles a checkerboard of black and ivory that gleams like it was laid yesterday. A single bulletin board hangs opposite me, cork-pocked with faded construction paper turkeys and a hand-lettered sign, "Welcome to Lincoln Intermediate, 1977-78. The paper smells faintly of burnt sugar. Fear arrives on schedule, sliding up my spine like cold fingers. I spin my phone flashlight in a slow arc. Lockers line both walls, but they're wrong, shorter, painted institutional green, combination dials instead of keyholes. Each door bears a nameplate etched in cursive, M. Alvarez T. Nguyen K. Whitmore. Names I don't recognize from any yearbook. At the far end, a window looks out onto nothing. Just blackness, thick as velvet. Then the PA system crackles to life overhead, though I'm between floors and the speakers should be 20 feet above me. A girl's voice, tinny and distant, recites the morning announcements like it's any Tuesday in 1978. Good morning, Lincoln Lions. Today's lunch is Salisbury steak with tater tots. Chess club meets in room 108. And remember, the spring formal theme is Stairway to Heaven. Static swallows the last word. My knees feel loose. I take one step back and my heel nudges something soft. A composition notebook lies open on the floor, pages filled with loopy teenage handwriting. The top line reads, Day 12 on the half floor. The stairs forgot us again. Revelation lands like a drop textbook. I'm not the first to find this place. And maybe not the first to try leaving. The notebook trembles in my hand like it's still attached to the wrist that wrote it. I kneel, phone flashlight angled low so the beam doesn't jitter across the page. The ink is purple, the kind that came in those plastic pens with the fuzzy caps we all chewed in 6th grade. The next line reads, They keep resetting the clocks. We're stuck between 2:17 and 2:18. My watch says 12:47 a.m., but when I blink, the second hand freezes, then jerks backward a tick. I swallow the metallic taste crawling up my throat. Curiosity nudges me forward again, a gentle hand between my shoulder blades. I leave the notebook open, an offering, maybe, and follow the checkerboard tiles. They click under my sneakers like tap shoes on a stage nobody's watching. The lockers watch, though. Their vents are slitted eyes, and every few steps I swear one of the dials spins a single digit when I'm not looking. Realistic anchor. The 1977-78 school year was Lincoln High's first after the district merged junior and senior high. City records show they ran split schedules, juniors on the 2nd floor, seniors on the 3rd, to ease overcrowding. The intermediate wing was supposed to be temporary, phased out by 1980. Blueprints label it future storage. But the budget got cut and the space was bricked over. Or so the official story goes. Mythic element, kids from that era whispered about. The half-floor ghost. A girl named Melanie Park who missed the last bus after detention and was never seen again. Rumors said she wandered the stairwells looking for her homeroom, her voice drifting from the PA at 2:17 every morning, reciting announcements nobody scheduled. I pass a water fountain bolted too low for adult knees. When I lean in, the spout gurgles but nothing comes out, just a hollow sucking sound, like the pipes are thirsty. The mirror above it is warped carnival glass. My reflection lags half a second behind, mouth opening after mine has already closed. I lift a hand, mirror me waits, then copies. The delay stretches, 1 beat, 2, until I'm staring at a version of myself that hasn't decided whether to wave yet. I back away fast. The hallway splits. Left bends toward a sign that reads, Library Annex. Right toward Faculty Lounge. Both arrows are hand-painted in faded gold, the letters curling like old ribbon. I choose left because books feel safer than teachers, even dead ones. The corridor narrows. Ceiling tiles sag with water stains shaped like continents. A single classroom door stands ajar, room 2.5 stenciled in peeling vinyl. The decimal makes me laugh, one sharp, nervous bark, before I push inside. Desks are arranged in perfect rows, 24 of them, each with a name tape across the front, J. Carter, S. Hernandez, M. Park. My stomach flips. Melanie's desk is third row center. A pink jelly bracelet coils around the pencil groove like a dried worm. The chalkboard still holds yesterday's lesson, fractions, 3/4 plus 5/8 equals, but the chalk lines shimmer, rearranging themselves while I watch. The numbers crawl into new positions, solving and resolving, never satisfied. I think some lessons were never meant to be taught. A projector sits on the teacher's desk, ancient bulb glowing without being plugged in. The reel spins, throwing grainy light onto the pull-down screen. Yearbook photos flicker past, bell-bottoms, feathered hair, a gym decorated with crepe paper stars. Then the image stutters. The same gym, same decorations, but the dancers are frozen mid-step, mouths open in silent screams. The projector clicks louder, smelling of hot dust and ozone. I reach to shut it off, but the switch is stuck. The reel accelerates, faces blur into streaks. One frame lingers, Melanie Park in a powder blue dress, eyes wide, hand reaching toward the camera as if she can see me through 40-year-old film. The PA crackles again, closer now, speakers hidden in the ceiling tiles. Melanie Park, please report to the office. Melanie Park. The voice loops, skipping like a scratched record. I back out of the room, heart punching ribs. The door swings shut on its own, the click echoing down the hall like a tongue-clucking disapproval. Fear graduates from prickle to full-body shiver. I jog back to the intersection, shoes squeaking frantic Morse code. The faculty lounge door is open now, it wasn't before. Inside, a rotary phone sits on a table beside a coffee mug that says World's Okayest Teacher. The receiver is off the hook, cord coiled like a snake. I pick it up. Dial tone, steady and normal. I punch in my own cell number, thumb shaking. It rings once in my hand, my pocket vibrates. I answer with the lounge phone and hear my own voice, tinny and far away. Don't trust the clocks. Click. Dead air. I drop the receiver. It doesn't fall, it hangs midair, spinning slowly. The mug fills itself with black liquid that steams though the percolator is cold. The smell is burnt coffee and pencil lead. I bolt. The hallway stretches, lockers multiplying like cells. My flashlight dims to a sickly yellow. Behind me, footsteps, small ones, sneakers on tile, start soft, then match my pace. I don't look back. At the T-junction I skid left, shoulder clipping a fire extinguisher that wasn't there before. The glass case cracks, red dust puffs out like blood. Revelation, the half floor isn't abandoned. It's occupied by echoes that haven't realized the bell rang. I round a corner and slam into a dead end, cinder block, no seam, no exit. My phone dies completely. Darkness swallows everything but the faint glow of exit signs that spell EXT in stuttering neon. The footsteps stop right behind me. A whisper, Melanie's voice from the PA but breath warm against my ear. You're late for class. Her breath smells like grape bubble yum and library paste. I spin, but the hallway is empty except for the dust I kicked up, swirling in slow motion like snow inside a globe. My phone is a cold brick in my hand. The screen stays black no matter how many times I mash the power button. The exit signs flicker once more and die, leaving me in a darkness so complete it has weight, pressing on my eardrums until I hear my own blood whoosh. Curiosity is officially fired. Fear clocks in for the night shift. I flatten my back to the cinder block, palms scraping for the seam that let me in. Nothing. The wall is seamless, warm almost, like skin after a fever. My fingers find only the faint ridges of old paint, decades of institutional beige layered like sedimentary guilt. Somewhere deeper in the floor, a locker slams, one sharp report, then another, a slow domino wave moving toward me. Each bang lands half a second after the last, the rhythm of a metronome set to funeral march. Realistic anchor. Lincoln High's original PA system was an Amplivox 2000, installed in '64 and only partially replaced during the '78 Reno. The old speakers, round, grilled, battleship gray, are still mounted in the ceilings of the main floors, but the wiring diagrams show a spur line that dead ends between second and third. Electricians call it the ghost leg. No one admits to capping it. Mythic element. Seniors in '78 swore that if you pressed your ear to the speaker in room 2.5 at 2:17 a.m., you could hear Melanie Park finish the announcements she never got to give. The pledge, the lunch menu, the reminder that lost souls should check the office before the final bell. I slide down the wall until I'm sitting knees to chest. The locker slams reach me, then stop. Silence rushes in so hard my ears pop. I count heartbeats 1, 2, 20, before a new sound starts, chalk on slate, deliberate, dragging. It's coming from the direction I just fled, back past the faculty lounge. The squeak of chalk is wet, like the board is sweating. I think some lessons were never meant to be taught. The darkness isn't empty. It has texture, velvet, then burlap, then the nubby weave of old auditorium curtains. I crawl forward on hands and knees, phone held out like a useless talisman. My knuckles brush something papery. Another notebook, spiral bound, cover warped with damp. I flip it open by feel. The pages are thick, almost cardboard. Braille? No, raised ink, mimeograph purple, the letters swollen. I trace the first line with a fingertip. They bricked us in on a Friday. We thought it was temporary. A bulb flickers on overhead, not fluorescent, incandescent, the kind with a visible filament that glows orange like a dying coal. It's screwed into a porcelain socket dangling from a single cord. The light barely reaches the floor, but it's enough to see the hallway has changed. The lockers are gone. In their place, rows of classroom doors, each with a frosted glass panel and a number ending in .5, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5. The chalk sound is coming from 2.5 again. The door stands open, a rectangle of warmer light spilling out like an invitation I don't want. I stand. My legs have forgotten how to be legs. I shuffle forward, each step sticking to the tile as if the floor is coated in rubber cement. Inside room 2.5, the projector is still running, but the reel is different now. The film shows the hallway I just left, shot from above, security cam angle, black and white, timestamp 2 hours 17 minutes and 3 seconds. A figure crawls on hands and knees. Me. The camera zooms, merciless. My face is pale, eyes ringed with exhaustion that hasn't happened yet. The crawler me looks up, directly into the lens, and mouths a single word I can't hear. The chalk stops. A shadow detaches from the chalkboard, tall, adult-shaped, but the proportions are wrong, arms too long, head tilted like a broken coat hanger. It turns. Where a face should be there's only chalk dust, swirling in slow vortices. The shadow raises a piece of chalk the size of a baton and writes on the air itself. Letters form in glowing negative space. Emile NaiprkwsnevRlat. The words hang, then shatter into powder that drifts to the floor and spells new ones. Yuari. My throat closes. I backpedal, trip over a desk I swear wasn't there, and land hard. The projector clicks off. The bulb overhead pops, showering sparks that die before they touch me. Darkness again, but now it's threaded with emergency lighting, thin red strips along the baseboards, the color of exit signs in hell. I scramble up and run. The hallway has become a loop. I pass room 2.5, then 2.5 again, then 2.5 a third time, each door open to the same frozen projector frame of crawler me. My lungs burn. The red lights pulse in time with my pulse, faster, faster. At the fourth 2.5 the door is closed. A paper sign taped to the glass reads, "Detention, do not disturb." Underneath, in fresh Sharpe, your name is already on the list. Revelation tastes like copper. The half floor doesn't hide you. It enrolls you. I keep running. The loop breaks abruptly, a hard left into a narrow corridor I haven't seen before. The walls here are lined with old yearbook photos in cheap plastic frames. The glass is cracked in spiderwebs, but the faces are pristine. 1978, 1979, every senior photo the same pose, same forced smile. Except the eyes follow me. I stop in front of one, Melanie Park, hair in 2 perfect braids, caption. Most likely to disappear. Her eyes are scratched out, white spirals where pupils should be. Behind me, the detention door creaks open. Footsteps, many, small, synchronized, start down the hall. I don't wait to count them. The footsteps multiply behind me, sneakers, loafers, maybe saddle shoes, all keeping perfect rhythm, like a marching band that never learned to stop. I sprint until the corridor dumps me into a cavernous space that smells of floor wax and old pizza. Moonlight, impossible moonlight, pours through high clerestory windows, painting the floor in silver bars. It's the gymnasium, but wrong, half-sized, the basketball hoops hung at junior high height, the scoreboard frozen at 2:17. Crepe paper stars dangle from the rafters, some still spinning though there's no breeze. Curiosity is a ghost now, fear has the wheel. I skid across the waxed wood, shoes chirping like frightened birds. The bleachers are folded in, but every seat holds a shadow, child-shaped, motionless, heads turned towards center court. In the middle of the floor sits a single metal folding chair. On it, the pink jelly bracelet from Melanie's desk, stretched into a perfect circle large enough to cuff an adult wrist. It pulses faintly, as if breathing. Realistic anchor. The 1978 spring formal was held in the auxiliary gym, this exact footprint, because the main gym's floor was being refinished. The theme really was Stairway to Heaven. Photos in the public library show the same crepe stars, the same low hoops. The event ended at 11 p.m., cleanup crew clocked out at 2:17 a.m. No anomalies reported. Mythic element, the morning after the dance, the bracelet Melanie wore, a gift from her older sister, was found in the middle of the court, snapped in half. No blood, no struggle, just a bracelet and a single saddle shoe print in the dust that didn't match any student's size. I circled the chair. The jelly glistens, wet-looking. When I'm 6 feet away, the PA speakers, mounted high in the rafters, same Amplivox grills, crackle and drop a needle on a record. Led Zeppelin fades in, tinny and warped. There's a lady who's sure all that glitters is gold. The shadows and the bleachers sway in time. One by one they stand. Their uniforms are plaid skirts and wide ties, hair sprayed into stiff wings. They descend the bleachers in eerie silence, shoes not touching wood. I think some lessons were never meant to be taught. I back toward the double doors that should lead to the main hallway. Locked. The push bar is wrapped in the same jelly bracelet material, now stretched across both handles like pink handcuffs. I yank. It stretches but doesn't break, snapping back with a wet pop. Behind me, the dancers form a circle around the chair, 24 of them, the exact number of desks in room 2.5. They join hands. The music skips, repeats the same 4 bars. Their mouths move in perfect unison, but the words come from the PA, not their throats. And she's buying a stairway to heaven. The circle tightens. I'm inside it now. Up close, their eyes are blank photo paper, glossy and undeveloped. One girl, Melanie, steps forward. Her braids are perfect, but the ends are frayed, threads floating as if underwater. She lifts the oversized bracelet like a crown and places it on my head. It shrinks to fit, cold and rubbery against my scalp. The music stops mid-word. Silence so complete I hear the jelly contract. Melanie's mouth opens. No sound, but I understand anyway. You kept us waiting. The shadows release hands. Each produces an old yearbook, 1978 edition, covers warped with damp. They open to the same page, a group photo labeled Intermediate Honor Roll. 24 faces, all scratched out except Melanie's. Then, in perfect choreography, they tear the page free. The scraps flutter upward, defying gravity, and reassemble in midair into a paper bird. It hovers, wings beating slow, then dives straight into my chest. Impact is soft, like being hugged by memories. Suddenly I'm inside the photo, standing in the auxiliary gym, wearing a powder blue tuxedo ruffled at the collar, Melanie's hand in mine. The crepe stars spin overhead. The scoreboard clicks to 2:16. We're supposed to dance, but her feet don't touch the floor. She floats an inch above the wood, toes pointed like a ballerina. I try to speak. My voice comes out as the PA. Lost and found one future. Please claim before the bell. The vision fractures. I'm back in the circle, yearbook pages drifting down like snow. The dancers step backward, reforming the ring. The bracelet on my head warms, then burns. I rip it off, it leaves a red band across my forehead. The dancers tilt their heads in unison, disappointed. Revelation drips cold down my spine. The half floor doesn't trap bodies. It traps moments, the ones nobody noticed were missing. The lights dim to a single spotlight on the chair. On it now sits the composition notebook from the landing, open to a fresh page. A pen lies beside it, purple ink chewed cap. The top line appears as I watch, letter by letter, not written but blooming. Day 1 for you. Write your names so we remember. I back away. The circle widens, giving me room, an invitation, not mercy. The double doors behind me creak open on their own. Beyond them, the stairwell I came down, but the steps ascend now, spiraling upward into darkness that smells of rain and cafeteria tater tots. Melanie's voice, soft, almost kind. Class is almost over. Don't be late for the next one. I stumble through the gym doors and the stairwell swallows me whole. The steps are steeper now, each riser a shin scraper, the handrail slick with condensation that smells like melted ice pops. My phone is still dead, but the jelly bracelet left a faint glow on my wrist, phosphorescent, the color of old glow sticks after the party's over. It pulses in time with my heartbeat, a sickly heartbeat that isn't entirely mine. Curiosity is a corpse in the rear view. Fear drives and dread rides shotgun. The stairs loop. I climb 14, turn, climb 14 more, but the landing never changes. Same bulletin board with the construction paper turkeys, same welcome to Lincoln Intermediate sign now bleeding purple ink down the wall like bruised veins. The PA speakers embedded in the cinder blocks whisper a new announcement on endless repeat. Attention students, the final bell is broken. Please remain seated until further notice. The voice is Melanie's, but layered, 24 tracks, every student from the honor roll photo speaking through her mouth at once. Realistic anchor, the stairwell's fire code requires 14 risers per flight, a regulation unchanged since 1964. I counted them 100 times in high school, racing friends to third floor English. The math never lied then. Mythic element, seniors said if you climbed the swallow at 2:17 a.m. carrying something you lost, a bracelet, a hall pass, a piece of your future, the stairs would take it and give you something back. Nobody ever specified what. I think some lessons were never meant to be taught. Halfway up the third impossible flight, the glow bracelet tightens. My skin prickles. The rubber sinks in like it's trying to fuse. I claw at it, nails scraping, but it's under the epidermis now, a vein of neon crawling toward my elbow. The stairs tilt. Gravity forgets its job. I'm walking on the wall, then the ceiling, sneakers sticking to painted cinder block while the handrail dangles above me like a jungle gym. The turkeys on the bulletin board watch upside down, paper wings fluttering though there's no air. A locker appears in the middle of the ceiling, my old locker, 217, combination December 24, 36. The door hangs open. Inside, every assignment I ever failed to turn in, stacked neat as kindling. On top sits my 9th grade diary, the one I swore I burned. The lock clicks shut when I reach for it. The dial spins itself to 2:17 and stops. The stairs right themselves with a stomach-lurching snap. I'm on the landing again, but the bulletin board is blank now, cork-pocked with holes where the turkeys were. Fresh pushpins spell a message, your turn to graduate. The letters drip like wet paint. I run. The glow crawls past my elbow, branching into capillaries that light up the veins in my forearm like subway maps. Each pulse carries a memory that isn't mine. Melanie waiting for the late bus that never came, the custodian locking the side door at 2:17, the bricklayer whistling Zeppelin while he sealed the spur line. The memories stack, heavier than textbooks, until my knees buckle. I crawl the next flight. The steps are soft, carpeted in astroturf green, the kind from the 70s mini golf course behind the cafeteria. My palms leave bloody prints. I don't remember cutting them. At the top, a door I've never seen, solid oak, brass knob tarnished black. A nameplate reads Principal's Office, half-floor annex. Underneath, someone scratched with a compass point, knock twice, wait for the bell that isn't there. I knock. The sound echoes like a coffin lid. The door opens inward on silent hinges. Inside, a perfect replica of the main office, but miniature, desks the size of dollhouses, the American flag on a cocktail straw. Behind the counter sits a girl in a plaid jumper, braids neat, eyes scratched out in white spirals. She stamps a hall pass with mechanical precision. The ink pad is wet with something darker than red. She slides the pass across the counter. It's warm, pulsing. My name is already filled in, the ink still spreading. Name, _________________. Destination, everywhere. Time out, 2:17. Time in, never. The glow reaches my shoulder. My arm goes numb, then weightless. I feel the bracelet trying to crawl into my heart, threading veins like ivy. The girl tilts her head. Her mouth moves. Write your excuse. Behind her, a trophy case displays jelly bracelets in every color, each labeled with a year: 1978, 1979, 1980, up to 2025. Mine is already there, empty hook waiting. Revelation is a scalpel. The half floor doesn't keep the lost. It keeps the parts of us we leave behind, the tardy slips, the almost wears. And it's patient. I grab the hall pass. The paper burns. I run again, down a new corridor that smells of rain-soaked yearbooks. The walls are lined with mirrors, tall, narrow, the kind from the drama room. Each reflection shows me at a different age: 9 years old with skin knees, 16 with braces, 21 with the hollow eyes I see in selfies now. Every version wears the glow bracelet at a different stage of invasion. The oldest me has it wrapped around his throat like a noose. The PA voice fractures into a choir. Detention is permanent. Please take your seat. I smash the nearest mirror with the hall pass. Glass explodes outward, but the shards hang midair, reassembling into a doorway, jagged, glittering. Beyond it, the main stairwell, the real one, moonlight spilling down from the third-floor windows. I dive through. The glass knits shut behind me with a sound like ice cracking. I'm on the second-floor landing. Normal. Safe. The seam in the wall is gone, painted over so seamlessly I can't find the outline. My phone buzzes alive, 17% battery, 2:17 a.m. exactly. The glow bracelet is just rubber again, loose on my wrist, no light, no pulse. I rip it off and hurl it down the stairs. It bounces, pink and innocent, and lands on the exact spot where my foot first sank through. The PA in the real school crackles once, softly. Thank you for your attendance. The PA's static fades into the normal hum of the main hallway lights, flickering back to life in lazy pulses. I lean against the railing, chest heaving, the pink rubber bracelet still warm in my fist like it holds a fever. My phone screen glows 2:18 a.m., 1 minute escaped the loop. The stairwell smells right again, rain through the windows, faint bleach from the janitor's cart downstairs. I pocket the bracelet, evidence, talisman, curse, I can't decide, and climb to third floor, each step a victory lap over gravity. Fear ebbs to trembling relief, but dread lingers like aftertaste. The seam is truly gone when I glance back. No crack, no sigh, just seamless cinder block painted the same eggshell as the day it was built. Lockers line the hall normally, dented from generations of slams, the trophy case holding dusty plaques for debate team 22. I test the wall with my palm, solid, indifferent. My reflection in the glass stares back in sync, no lag, no white spirals for eyes. Realistic anchor. Lincoln High's third-floor architecture includes a forgotten utility closet behind the main stairwell, added during the '78 reno for electrical panels. Maintenance logs from 1979 mention anomalous measurements, during inspection, 4.8 feet of unaccounted space, but the report was filed under settling and never followed up. Mythic element, the final rumor ties it all. Every 7 years, the half-floor graduates, one student who finds it. They return changed, successful, but hollow, their eyes always glancing at 2:17 on any clock. Locals call them the swallows, birds that escape the throat but carry its echo. I think some lessons were never meant to be taught. I slip out the band room door at 2:45 a.m., the trick latch popping soft as a whisper. Rain has stopped. The parking lot puddles reflect sodium lamps like spilled mercury. My car starts on the first try, heater blasting to thaw my bones. Driving home, the bracelet sits on the passenger seat, inert. I almost chuck it out the window at a red light, but my hand won't open. By dawn, I'm in bed, curtains drawn against the gray Vietnamese morning, 10:38 a.m. here in Hanoi, but my body clock screams midnight. The bracelet goes into a sock drawer, buried under mismatched pairs. Sleep comes in fits, Melanie's braids unraveling into wires, yearbook pages folding into origami birds that peck at my veins. I wake sweating, grab my laptop, and dig. The subreddit thread is gone, /Lincoln Lurker 2009 deleted or shadow banned. But City Hall archives yield gold, a 1979 internal memo, redacted in parts, mentioning incomplete sealing of intermediate spur, recommend observation. Attached, a single photo of the stairwell mid-construction, workers posing with trowels, and in the background, a girl in plaid watching from the shadows. Melanie Park, unmistakable. Revelation settles like dust. I didn't escape. I graduated. The half-floor let me go because it took what it wanted, the tardy parts, the almosts, the fear of never measuring up. In the mirror, my eyes look sharper, ambitions clawing up from dormancy. Job applications I ignored for months? Drafted and polished by morning. But when I smile, it doesn't reach the corners. Days blur. I land the remote gig translating English scripts for Hanoi edtech firms. Perfect hours, no commute, salary that covers the apartment overlooking Hon Kim Lake. Friends text, "Dude, you're killing it!" I laugh it off, but at 2:17 every night, my phone chimes unprompted, the PA voice, faint through static, reciting tomorrow's lunch menu. Salisbury steak with tater tots. The bracelet lives on my wrist now, a fashion choice nobody questions. It doesn't glow, doesn't pulse, just sits there, pink and silent. But when I teach online classes to Vietnamese high schoolers, kids with the same wide eyes as room 2.5, I catch myself saying her announcements verbatim. Chess Club in 108. Spring formal theme, Stairway to Heaven. Last night, I returned to Lincoln High in dreams. The seam reappeared, exhaling cool air. I stepped through willingly this time. The half-floor welcomed me home, lockers etched with new names, Vietnamese surnames mixed with the old, Melanie at the principal's desk stamping hall passes. She handed me one, time in, forever. I folded it into my pocket. This morning, I measured the stairwell photo from the archives. 14 steps, exact. But my watch stopped at 2:17 during the count. When it restarted, the second hand ticked backward. I'm writing this as my final video. If you're watching from Hanoi at 10:38 a.m. on November 11, 2025, or anywhere, anytime, check your school's blueprints. Listen for the swallow at 2:17. And if you find the seam, don't step through alone. The bracelet just tightened, once. Soft, like a hug from an old classmate. The screen fades to black, but the hum doesn't stop. It's the lights in your room now, or maybe the fridge cycling on downstairs, that same fluorescent drone threading through the walls like veins. Outside, wind stirs the leaves. Tap tap against your window, rain or branches or footsteps retreating down a hallway that ends in nothing. Papers on your desk rustle, though the air is still. An old notebook flips open to a blank page, waiting. Breathe. The tension uncoils slow, vertebra by vertebra, leaving muscles slack and heavy. Your pulse matches the clock's, steady, forward, 2:18 and climbing. The shadows in the corners soften